I'll just tell my secretary to expect you. No, that'll be all right. I'll make time. If you would just tell me why you... All right, I'll see you as soon as you get here. That was a strange phone call.
Sounded pretty urgent. Who was it?
Parker Barnes?
Oh, part of the dynamic duo.
Uh-huh.
Well, what'd he say?
He and Boots are coming over here. They wouldn't tell me why.
Lurleen? Lurleen, it's me. It's Ruby. I'm home. Lurleen! Lurleen! That's funny. I wonder where she is.
I don't know. Maybe she's taking care of business at the coop.
No, it's too early. Oh, Mark, you don't think something terrible
Ruby,
happened?
stop worrying. Come on, the danger's past. We left all that behind us at High Toe Pond.
Yeah, I guess we did. It's just that I spent so much of the last month looking back over my shoulder.
Well, relax. We're home.
Yeah. Home ain't never looked so good. Oh, Mark, it feels so great to sit on something besides a rock.
In a nice, safe living room.
With no snakes.
No poison gas.
And no Gretchen.
No, I'm real proud of you, Ruby.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, you were willing to risk your life for a friend. We had to face up to a lot of danger, a lot of uncertainty. Most people would have gone to pieces. You didn't.
I wasn't all that brave.
Yes, you were.
No. It's just that I really didn't have that much reason to be afraid.
What are you talking about?
Because I was with you. You took real good care of me, Mark.
The World Oil Building has never looked better.
I'll second that.
Now, for instance, this desk. I have always hated this desk, and now it looks to me like a work of art. It's beautiful. The whole office is beautiful.
Yeah, well, it wasn't so beautiful last week. I never felt so frustrated in all my life.
I'm sorry, Dad.
Just sitting here knowing that you and Mark and Ricky and Ruby were needing help and not knowing where to begin.
I never meant to put you through that.
We should have told you our plans.
But it just happened so fast, and then, of course, Miles had sworn me to secrecy.
Yeah, now, that's what's wrong with promises like that. You know, one day your integrity is going to get you in a situation that you're not going to be able to get out of.
And we had no idea how dangerous it was going to be.
I know that, Ricky.
But even so, we should have insisted, or I should have insisted
Ricky,
that somebody...
Ricky, you saved my daughter's life. You've got nothing to apologize for.
But I do.
Oh, yes. Now, the next time, young lady...
Dad, there's not going to be a next time.
Brett,
I mean it.
with you, there is always a next time.
I swear to you that I will never again. You've heard this before, haven't you?
I certainly have.
I love you, Dad.
Now, the next time, and there is going to be a next time, talk to me.
I will. I promise. And we have to talk about those artifacts, too, and the oil deposit at High Toe Pond.
We'll talk about that later, but right now I think you two should get some rest.
But we still owe you an explanation.
Ricky, that's all in the past. What we got to deal with now is the present.
Well, I'd like that, sir, very much.
Yes, and now, if you don't mind, I would like to have a word with my daughter alone.
Of course not. Brett, I'll meet you out in the reception area, and thank you again very much, Mr. Wheeler. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ricky. Brett,
Yes.
you know your mother's in Houston.
Yes, you told me.
I think we had better talk about that.
Why do you want to talk about Mother?
Because I know that you and your mother haven't been very close.
We're as close as most mothers and daughters I know.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, I haven't spent much time with her in the last few years, but that's not so strange. Since I graduated, I have a life of my own and a career of my own.
Which hasn't taken you back to Boston, has it?
There's not much call for geologists on Beacon Hill.
You know, Brett, at first I thought you didn't go back because your mother and I are separated.
No. All right, maybe if I'd had a home and a family to visit in Boston, but as it was...
As it was, you decided to just shut your mother out in the cold.
I love Mother. I love her very much.
But not enough to share any part of your life.
Dad, I wrote her letters. I called her on the phone.
Yes, but you saved your visits for me. You even came to live with me.
Well, there's a lot of work for geologists in Houston. And besides, I can never forget the fact that she ran out on us.
But she didn't just run out. She had her reasons.
Well, I don't care what her reasons were. She left her family and turned her back on us. She left us for a man.
Brett, don't hold a grudge. It's not going to accomplish anything.
I know you're right, Dad. Why did she come to Houston anyway?
Because she was concerned about you and Mark.
Was she?
Oh, yeah. The moment she found out that you were missing, she insisted on coming here.
I'm sure of it. Mother never could resist playing a good scene.
Oh, come on, Brett. Be fair. She tried to help.
Why are you telling me all this?
Because, Brett, no matter what happened, I want you to know that your mother is a fine woman. She's always been a caring, a loving mother.
Dad, I was there. I know exactly what kind of a mother she's been. How long is she going to stay in Houston?
Well, now that you and Mark are safe, I rather suspect she'll just go right on back up to Boston.
Are you sure?
No, we haven't discussed it.
What about the divorce?
Brett, a lot's been going on. This is not the time for us to have discussed that. We were concerned about you and Mark.
You're not having second thoughts, are you?
Oh, no. No, my marriage to your mother is over. It's been over a long, long time.
What about Rena?
Well, I plan to make her a part of my life.
Oh, Dad, I just get this sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach.
About what?
About Mother. She's going to make things very difficult for you and Rena.
You made me feel so safe
I'm glad.
and so special. You made me feel like a real lady.
Well, you are a real lady. Nobody's going to dispute that.
You'd be surprised. A person with my background has to put up with a lot of condescension.
Because of... Now, come on, I find that hard to believe.
It's because you've never been sitting on the wrong end of the social ladder. I guess now that all this is over, we're not going to be seeing each other anymore.
Why would you even think that?
We don't exactly travel in the same circles. I mean, I just run a little old honky-tonk, and you're president of a great big corporation.
Yeah, I'm a president without a desk.
You could have a desk. You could have an office. You could have a whole floor if you wanted.
No, thanks. I'm not into all that status stuff.
You know, Mark, as terrible and as dangerous and everything as High Topaz was, I think I'm really going to miss it. I'm even going to miss the cave.
What are you, crazy?
No. It's because I was with you in the cave. It's an experience that we shared.
Well, Ruby, I think there'll be other experiences that we can share that'll be a lot more pleasurable than High Topaz, believe me.
Well, it's nice of you to say that, but I don't think it's really true. I expect from now on we'll just drift apart.
Now, Ruby, you stop that. We are not going to drift apart.
Really?
You know you're impossible? There's only one way I'm really going to prove this to you, isn't it? Guess I'm going to have to convince you.
It's so good to see you.
Lily, you are a sight for sore eyes. How you doing? Look, I'll tell you what. I'll let you two catch up on some things. I haven't even seen my mother yet. I should get home. Okay?
Okay.
I'll see you later. Good seeing you. Bye.
Bye.
Grant.
Rena,
Oh, I missed you so much.
I wasn't gone very long.
It seemed like forever to me. I was worried about you.
Well, everything turned out just fine.
That's what you said on the phone, but I want to hear every word of it. First, tell me about Brett and Ricky.
All right. When we caught up with them, they were in some sleazy cafe being held at gunpoint. And then there was some shooting.
Is anyone hurt?
Well, the sheriff was wounded, but he'll recover.
What about the people that are after them?
There's only one guy with a gun. But he got away, unfortunately.
Do you know who it is?
No, Ricky's seen him in Houston. Apparently so is Ruby Wright. Problem is they don't know his name.
That means we don't have a clue as to who's behind all of this.
No, because the only one in that whole thing that anybody ever had any direct contact with was that woman, Gretchen Randolph. She's dead.
Yeah, the explosion in the cave.
That's right.
Well, Stryker has started an investigation, but he doesn't have very much to work on.
I wish him luck.
I'm beginning to think we won't find out the whole story.
Oh, Rena, I think we will eventually, but there's something else that's pressing in on my mind. Judith.
Don't be so serious, sweetheart. Hawker and Booth probably just want to talk a little politics.
You mean all that business about running Ricky Decker for political office?
That's right. After all, I did agree to be Ricky Decker's honorary campaign manager. They probably just want to talk over some plans with me.
Now, why would they be in such a hurry to do that?
I don't know.
Well, now, it sounded pretty urgent on the phone.
Oh, you know those two old boys. They just like to put on a good show. They want everybody to think whatever they do is important.
Justin, I don't think that they're coming over here to talk politics at all. I think that it has something to do with those oil leases that they've been sending your way.
Well, if they're in a hurry to bring over some more oil leases, I'm not going to turn them down.
No. I don't think they're coming over here to bring you any more. I think they're going to come over to collect the favors on the ones they already have sent you.
Oh, sweetheart, you don't know what those two boys are thinking? Nobody does. Now, we shouldn't hang crepe here unless we do.
Justin, I just wish that you hadn't ever gotten involved with those two.
Mr. Hannibal.
Adams, what are you doing here?
I'm reporting, sir.
Reporting? No one asked you for a report.
Yes, I know, sir, but there's been some developments
You
that...
found the fire compass.
No, sir,
Then what are you doing in Houston? Your mission is to locate the fire compass, and the fire compass is at Haito Pa.
I don't think it is anymore, sir.
What do you mean?
The mission has been a failure, sir.
I can't tolerate failure, Adams. Where's Gretchen?
Well, I don't know. As she got deep inside the cave, we lost radio contact with her.
Well, then how do you know she hasn't managed to get rid of that interfering collection of amateurs? She may have already found the missing piece. She could be waiting for you now.
According to Ruby Wright, Gretchen is dead, sir.
I don't believe it. Gretchen is a highly trained terrorist. She'd never... Where did you see Ruby Wright?
At the La Conchita. She arrived by helicopter with the others.
What others?
There were 4 of them, sir, including Ricky Decker and the Wheeler girl.
Where are they now?
They're in Houston.
Then why didn't you stop them? Why didn't you kill them?
I tried.
Tried. Is that all you can do, Adams? Try?
I was ready to kill them, sir. I had the drop on them. And then all of a sudden the sheriff stopped me. There must have been 6 or 7 of them. I was lucky to get out of there alive, sir.
I was counting on that fire compass. I want it. I need it. That little piece of wood is the key to a fortune. A reservoir of oil so vast it surpasses the imagination. And you tell me you've lost it.
I know, sir, but I just...
Get out of here, Adams.
Mr. Hannibal...
Get out.
Well, gentlemen, come right in. It's nice to see you up and prowling around this early morning.
Well, my old daddy always used to say it was never too early to strike a bargain.
And it's never too soon to talk sense.
And old Hawker sure loves to talk sense.
Yeah, dollars and cents.
Well, I imagine you two could use a pick-me-up. It's always easier to do business when the pipe's lubricated.
No thanks, Justin.
I think we'll pass on that this morning.
Are you sure? I mean, this is the good stuff. Special reserve.
Sure, it's the best, but this ain't a drinking occasion.
What'd you two want to see me about? Does it have anything to do with Ricky Decker's campaign?
Not this time.
Something a whole lot more important than that.
We want to talk to you about a man named Hannibal.
Why do you want to talk about Hannibal?
We have our reasons.
Just how much do you and that sweet wife are going to know about this Mr. Hannibal?
Well, not that much.
Well,
No.
what's his connection with Marshall Oil?
He doesn't have any. At least, not that I know of.
Why is he so interested in you and your family?
Because of Ashley's finances.
Oh, you mean all that money your wife inherited?
That's right. Hannibal managed her Aunt Hilda's finances for years, and Ashley inherited a lot of that from her estate. But you two know all about that, don't you?
Well, we heard rumors.
The grapevine says that she's got her entire $40 million tied up in Hannibal's companies.
Is that true? Don't you think that's a little mite risky?
Don't you think a little diversification is in order?
TJ suggested the same thing.
Smart boy, T.J. Canfield.
First-class lawyer.
But right now, let's concentrate on Mr. Hannibal.
The way Hannibal handles things is starting to make us suspicious.
Yeah, I've met the man. I don't like him much. Because he was trying to interfere in my family. I don't like that from anybody.
Well, keep your eyes open. Old Boots and me seem to hear some bones rattled in Mr. Hannibal's closet.
Yeah, Hannibal's got too dang many secrets.
And that makes us as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
I get your drift. I'll keep my eye on him.
We like you, Justin.
And we like Marshall Oil.
Now, maybe we've been a little overcautious with Hannibal.
But you keep an eye on him, Justin. A real close eye.
You hear?
Yeah, I hear.
Good. That's real good.
I just don't know what effect her presence here in Houston is going to have on all of us.
Why?
Well, she's a very clever woman. She's determined to have her own way.
But you've been separated for a long time.
Yeah, but with Judith, it's a matter of ego, Nina. She hates to lose.
She's already lost, Grant. She lost the moment she walked out of your house.
I don't think she would agree with you.
Why not?
Rena, Judith took her freedom without ever acknowledging that I had a right to mine, and without expecting that I might take it.
No, she can't do that. She can't stop you.
Well, she can make it very difficult. She can stand in the way of the divorce. She's not going to sit around passively waiting for lawyers to take care of all this. No, she's going to try to find some way to come between us.
She can't do that. Not unless you still have feelings for her.
Oh, Rena, no. I did love her, of course. She's the mother of my children. But whatever it was that made that marriage work is long gone.
Are you sure?
There's only one woman in my life.
You make me happy.
I do wish she'd get on a plane and go back to Boston, though.
Has she given you any indication as to when she might go back?
Not yet. And I do intend to ask her what her plans are.
There's only one thing that worries me.
What?
If she decides to stay in Houston, are you going to allow her to remain living in your house?
Milady, I was reared a gentleman. But courtesy does have its limits. Rena, I can't force her to leave Houston. And with the kids back now and everything they've been through, I have to let her stay in the house. Are you sure you don't want me to go in?
No, this reunion is going to be a little tricky.
In what way?
Well, it's been a long time since I've seen my mother, and we just have some personal things to discuss.
Well, the last thing I want to do is interfere. So, I guess maybe I better be taking off.
Rick, you do understand, don't you?
Oh, sure. I've got a lot of things of my own I have to take care of anyway.
Are you going to talk to Vicki Bellman?
Yes, but first, I want to go see Joel in the hospital.
Oh, Joel, I wish I could go with you. Thank him for me, will you?
I will.
If it weren't for Joel, we could be dead right now.
I know. Joel is a very dear friend, and I want to make sure that he's going to be all right.
Well, you tell him I'm going to visit him just as soon as I can.
I sure will. Well, I suppose I better get going.
Ricky,
Yes?
there's something I've been wanting to say to you for a long time. And I just don't know how to put it into words.
Try.
The only words I can think of are thank you. And that seems pretty inadequate.
That sounds fine to me.
You were there every time I needed you. And you took so many risks. You jeopardized your life, your career.
I went because I wanted to.
These last couple weeks have been so crazy. I just haven't said anything that I wanted to say. I haven't discussed us, how I feel about you. And I just hope that you realize that I love you, Ricky Decker.
I've waited a long time for you to say that.
Oh, Ricky, I really do love you. And I really do have to go in now.
You're gonna be all right? Okay. Goodbye.
Brett, darling, I'm so happy to have you home. Hello, Mother.
I'm really sorry, Ruby.
Sorry about what, honey?
For running Mark off like I did.
You didn't. He had to go see his mama anyway.
I was just so excited to see
I
you.
understand.
Well, I hope Mark does.
Oh, he does, honey. He's the most wonderful, most understanding man I ever met in my entire life.
It sounds like you two got to know each other pretty well.
Not half as well as we're gonna. He's so handsome, Lurleen. He's so strong.
Poor Mark.
Poor Mark? What do you mean, poor Mark?
I know you, Ruby. When you get that expression on your face, a man doesn't stand a chance.
Oh, Lurleen, I'm so happy to be home.
Oh, I bet.
I missed you something terrible.
Oh, I'm just so glad to have you back.
I'm so glad to be back.
It was getting pretty dull without you around here.
Hey, what's in the grocery bag?
Steaks. 2 of the biggest steaks you've ever seen.
Sounds like heaven.
I got all your favorite things. Bacon, potatoes, and sour cream, avocado. We're going to have the nicest dinner.
Oh, I can't wait. You wouldn't believe what we had to eat in that cave. Ricky said it's the same stuff the astronauts ate.
What was it like in the cave?
It was weird, Lurleen. It was the strangest, most weird place I've ever been in my entire life.
Weren't you afraid?
A couple of times. Like when we had our run-in with them snakes.
Snakes?
Yeah. Right in the middle of the cave, there was this little pond. And on the far side of this pond, there was this golden idol.
Real gold?
You bet. Brett had to walk right through the pond to get the idol on the other side. Only when she picked it up, all these snakes came falling down from the sky. There was like hundreds of them.
Well, what'd you do?
We fought them off. We had to in order to save Brett. But she still got bit. Ricky fixed her up. And me and Mark went back and we got the idol.
What about all the snakes?
We were used to them by then. Anyway, they weren't half as dangerous as Gretchen.
What happened to Gretchen?
She chased us all the way into the center secret chamber in this cave. She would have killed us there too, Lurleen. She would have left us there to die. Except that there was this compass there. It was like the fire compass, only it was bigger. It was called the Great Compass. She wanted it. Only when she picked it up, all hell broke loose.
What do you mean?
Well, Brett said it was Sutar's curse. Anyway, the gas got her. I think it was the same gas that killed Bo.
You mean she turned into a mummy like him?
I didn't stick around to find out.
Ruby, you're so brave. I don't think you're afraid of anything.
I just did what I had to do. So tell me what you've been doing while I've been running around in caves and chasing snakes.
Well, I've been spending a lot of time at the hospital visiting Joel.
Oh, that's real sweet of you, Lurleen.
Joel's real nice.
Nice? I do believe you have a crush on the boy.
No, I don't, Ruby. I'm just doing my Christian duty.
Your Christian duty, huh? Come on, Lurleen. You really like him, don't you?
Yeah, Ruby. I really do.
Your father and I have been so worried about you. Oh, this whole thing has been a nightmare. I know. It must have been very trying for you. I'm sorry. You always were a headstrong child. Still am. I dare say. Except you're not a child anymore. Let me look at you. Oh, my, yes. You turned into quite a young lady. Not a fashion plate, of course, but then you always did have your own sense of style. Well, you're looking very well, Mother. Thank you. Actually, I'm kind of tired. I'm sure you understand. This whole thing has been a great ordeal for us. I said I was sorry. Yes, Brett. I know you are. Oh, we have so much catching up to do. Come on over here and sit down. You and I have to get to know each other all over again. Well, I think we know each other pretty well already. Well, we have allowed ourselves to draw apart. And you know why. You've never been able to forgive me for leaving your father? It was very hard on all of us. I know that. Then why didn't you stay? Brett, I had needs in my life, too. Needs that your father could never satisfy. If you don't mind, Mother, I'd rather not discuss this. All right, dear, but remember you're the one that brought the subject up. Can I ask you something? Of course. What is it? What are you doing in Houston? I'm here because I was concerned about you and Mark. Is that the only reason? What other reason could there be? You know about Rena Decker, don't you? Rena? You know that Dad is involved in a very important relationship with her. What has that got to do with me? I want you to know that I like Rena Decker very much. I'm glad, Brett. For all of you, but I still don't see why you need to discuss that with me. Because your being in Houston is going to make things very difficult for Dad and Rena.
Mom?
Mark! Oh, Mark!
How you doing?
Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, but what on earth is this?
Oh, I forgot to shave today.
Oh, my goodness, how tall you've grown.
Now, come on. I'm not a bit taller than I was the last time you saw me.
Oh, well, I guess it's been a long time. I've forgotten.
Yeah, I know. Somehow I'm always going to be 11 years old in your head.
I come by that naturally. You always were a sweet and charming little boy.
You didn't think that when I was younger.
Can't imagine how much I've missed you. Oh, Mark. Oh.
Good morning, Justin.
Good morning.
A nice office.
Thank you.
I like doing business with a man who understands quality.
I'm happy you approve.
A nice view. If you like looking at the World Oil Building.
I always think it's a good idea to keep an eye on the competition.
I concur. I hope you don't mind me dropping in like this, without an appointment.
What did you want to see me about?
Marshall Oil. It's a fine company. I'd like to see it succeed.
It will. We appreciate all the oil leases you've been steering in our direction.
Oh, those leases are only an appetizer.
Really?
Only a taste of what I have in mind.
It's very nice of you to take such an interest in my company.
Oh, I have plans for Marshall Oil.
What sort of plans?
Big plans.
Fine. I'll look forward to hearing about them. Let me make one thing clear, Mr. Hannibal. In this office, I make the decisions. I'm the boss of Marshall Oil.
Hey, buddy.
Ricky, is that really you?
It sure is.
It is so good to hear your voice. I never thought you'd get out of that canyon.
I did, thanks to you.
You look like you had a worse time of it than I did. Hey, I'm alive and kicking.
Yeah, well, so are we. You saved our lives. You hadn't shouted out that warning, Gretchen would have killed us for sure. We're grateful to you, buddy. I owe you one.
Hey, you don't owe me anything. As a matter of fact, if I'd been a little more alert, I would have known that Gretchen was a phony. Ricky, I have never had anybody take me in like that.
Joel,
Yeah.
are you and Ricky having a nice reunion?
Oh, the best. I tell you what, though, he had me worried there for a while.
Oh, he had a lot of us worried, especially your sister Elena.
Oh, I'm going to stop over to the coop and see her now, Lurleen.
Well, good. Joel, I brought somebody I'd like you to meet.
Yeah, who?
My best friend in the whole world, Ruby Wright.
Hi, Ruby.
Hi. I haven't met you, but I feel like I know you already.
You do?
Yeah, well, I heard you talking to Gretchen while Lurleen and me were hiding in her closet.
That's right. Lurleen told me about that. Well, I'm glad you're back in one piece, too.
We all made it back in one piece. Everybody except Gretchen.
Hey, you know something? We ought to form a club. Survivors of High Toe Pa. What do you think?
That's a great idea.
Well, if you do, I'm going to feel sort of left out.
Oh, no, Lurleen. You ain't gonna be left out. We're gonna make you the #1 honorary member.
That's right. If anybody should be a member, it's Lurleen.
That's for sure.
Well, you may not have grown any taller since the last time I saw you, but you know, you have grown more handsome.
Well, thank you. I mean, you're looking pretty good yourself.
I work at it.
Well, I wish you'd teach your secret to some of these ladies in Houston.
You haven't changed a bit. You always could wrap me around your little finger.
Now, that was hard work.
We have so much catching up to do. All those years in Australia and your life in Houston, your work, and how about your lady friend?
Mom, I don't think you have time for all that.
I'll have to make time. I want to know all there is about you.
Well, I want to know all there is about you, too. You know, your letters were kind of vague.
At least I wrote letters.
Now, I wrote.
Yes, a postcard and a Christmas card and, oh yes, a postcard from Kuala Lumpur.
Mom.
A mother deserves more than that.
I know, I called, too.
Yes. Christmas Day and Mother's Day and always in the middle of the night.
Yeah, but the time difference in Australia, you know, it's kind of confusing.
Oh, I can hardly wait till we can sit down, all of us together, and have a nice long chat. But I am expecting your father, and I think you both need some rest.
Well, I don't intend on doing anything today except sleeping.
Good. I'll see you at dinner.
Okay. Good seeing you.
You too, Brad.
You know, she's something else, isn't she?
You don't know her at all, do you?
What do you mean?
I mean, she is up to something. I know she is.
Now, come on, Brett. I know you two are having your problems. But give her a chance, all right?
Justin, I have a real affinity for you. I like your mind. I like the way you think.
Just keep things strictly business and we'll get along.
Oh, we will. I'm sure of it. We're going to have a long, successful relationship.
Just remember what I said. Any decisions which affect Marshall Oil will be my decisions. I will not tolerate any interference from outside.
I wouldn't dream of interfering, Justin. Frankly, I enjoy doing business with a man who knows his own mind. Well then, I'll be talking to you later.
Fine.
Wow, what a pleasant surprise.
What are you doing here?
Discussing the future of Marshall Oil. Justin and I have been getting on remarkably well. I hope you'll continue to see that we do. Well, Gregory, you're turning into a fine-looking young man.
For a supposedly bright person, you are certainly blind when it comes to Mother. You've never understood her.
Maybe you're the one that never understood her.
Oh, don't give me that.
Mom's terrific, Brett.
Well, I guess it depends on where you're standing.
Look, you have to admit she was always a devoted mother. She loved us. She stood by us. No matter what was happening in her life, she always put us first.
And managed to hurt Dad pretty badly in the process. Or do you just forget that?
I didn't forget it.
Oh, Mr. Rourke! Oh, I missed you so much. I was so worried about you.
Well, you had good reason to
Oh,
be.
I know. I heard all about them. Mummies and guns and funny Indian names.
We're all right now.
Well, it's a miracle you are. Where did you tell me where you were going? I wish I had.
So do I.
You were very hard to track down.
John's the one that found the place with a funny name.
High Toe Pop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, actually, you gave me the clue. I just didn't follow through. You remember my friend, Chief Dan Phillips?
Well, sure.
Well, he's the one to tell me about the Indian archives. That's how I found out about High Toe Pop.
Well, John, we're real grateful. We may not be here if it weren't for you.
Oh, it's nothing.
He was, too. He worked his head off.
I'm sure he did. After all, I mean, there were a lot of people out there looking for high toe pie, and you're the only one to find it.
I hope you guys worked up a real appetite for dinner. Why? Because your mom's planning a celebration, a real feast.
A feast?
New England shore dinner with lobsters and clams and Indian pudding.
Ooh, all my favorite
I
stuff.
know, that's what she said. She's worked this menu down to the last detail.
There. What did I tell you? Only Mom would do something like that.
Hey, Joe, what's this cop doing outside your door?
You don't know? Lurleen here saved my life.
She what?
Yeah, somebody came in and tried to smother me with my own pillow. And Lurleen put a stop to that.
I recognized him, too.
You did?
Who was it?
It's the same guy that rented me and Ruby our apartment.
Well, what did he have to do with all this?
I don't know, but I found something else out that was funny. Now, our apartment is supposed to cost $2,000 a month. We only pay $500.
That's because it's rent control.
No, Ruby, there isn't any rent control on that building.
There isn't.
No.
You mean somebody wanted us to move into that apartment?
That's right. We were set up, and all because of that stupid fire compass.
Man, Gretchen and her gang thought of everything, didn't they?
Yeah, well, at least we've seen the last of her.
And the rest of them, too, I hope.
Amen.
You said it, little lady.
Ricky, can I talk to you out in the hall for a minute? It's business I want to discuss with you.
Business? Ruby, can't we let the business slide? We've only been here a couple of hours.
This is important.
All right. Joe, we're going to find that guy that tried to smother you, and we're also going to find out who was behind Gretchen. Well, what's so important? Joel, I'm gonna go visit my sister over at the coop. You take care, buddy. It was good seeing you.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad you are back.
Thanks a lot, pal. Take it easy. Lurleen, take care of the man, okay?
Okay.
I gotta go too, Joel. It's real nice meeting you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye. Oh, isn't it great to have everybody back safe and sound?
It's incredible. I just hope that they don't keep you too busy so that you can't come by and see me every now and again.
Well, if you want me to.
Oh, you bet I do.
Hello, Judith.
I'm glad you're here.
Oh?
Our relationship seems to have been reduced to legal exchanges. We have to talk.
All right. Have you seen Brett and Mark?
Yes, I have. Grant, it's so good to see them again, to have them back. It's been too long.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There's a lot to catch up on, and a lot of details I want to ask about.
It sounds like you're planning to stay for a while.
That's what I've been wanting to talk to you about. Grant, you and I have been very negligent about our children.
Oh, Judith, if you're going to start harping on that high-toe pie episode, I wish you'd take into consideration the fact...
I'm not talking about that, Grant. I'm not talking about that at all.
What are you talking about?
I've been doing a lot of thinking.
And?
Well, you know, when the children were younger, you were always too busy with your work. You didn't have enough time for them.
I've admitted that. Now, I think it's a little late for...
But after the separation, well, the children just grew away from me, and that was my fault. I allowed it to happen.
Judith, what are you getting at?
Grant, darling, don't you think we owe it to the children to make every effort to spend some time with them? All of us together.
Judith, they're not children any longer.
I've made a decision, my darling. I'm going to stay in Houston. I want to really get to know my family again.
There's nothing to worry about.
Justin, there is plenty to worry about. How many times do I have to tell you that Hannibal is a terrible man? He's gonna cause trouble, and I don't want you or Gregory near him.
I don't know why you're getting so upset. I've taken care of Hannibal. I've told him very plainly that I don't want him interfering with my family. He says he's only interested in Marshall Oil's success.
Justin, please, just promise me you'll stay away from him.
I can't do that, darling.
Why not?
Well, for one thing, you've got a lot of money invested in Hannibal's companies.
I don't care about the money.
But I do. And I have made a decision.
Justin, what are you planning on doing?
I'm going to do a little investigating. Find out how well Mr. Hannibal is really doing.
Rena?
Brett! Oh, boy, is it good to see you. Oh. Oh, honey, it's so good to have you back home.
Well, same here.
You're looking pretty good considering the ordeal you've been through.
Well, I'll tell you, aside from being a little tired, I feel pretty good.
You had us all worried to death. You know that.
I know, and I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. I'm just grateful that you all made it back home safely.
You don't know how happy I am to be here.
It must have been absolutely awful out there, huh?
Got pretty hairy.
Well, I got 1,000 questions to ask you. Don't worry, I can wait until you rest.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But I put you on notice that when we do talk, it's no holds barred. Now, I want to hear everything.
It's a deal.
Oh, Brett, what's important is that you're back home.
Yes. Home.
What is it, Brett?
Grant, don't you think we owe it to our children to make every effort to spend some time with them? All of us together.
They're no longer children, Judith.
I've made a decision, my darling. I'm going to stay in Houston. I want to really get to know my family again.
You're going to stay in Houston?
How else can I get reacquainted with the children?
Of course.
I've missed them, you know.
Yes.
It's been a long time since I've seen them.
Judith, how long are you planning to stay in Houston?
As long as it takes. Well, that's not going to present any problems to you, is it?
I just thought you were anxious to get back to Boston as soon as possible.
I've nothing there to hold me. I can come and go as I please.
All right, Judith, feel free to stay in Houston.
Thank you, darling.
Where do you plan to stay, Judith?
Here, of course.
Well, you're perfectly welcome to stay here a couple of days. Beyond that, you're going to have to find other accommodations. I'd be glad to help you. There are a lot of fine hotels.
Oh, no, here is just fine. Just fine. There'll have to be some changes made, of course. You allowed John and Vivian to get away with murder. But don't worry. I'll have the house running like clockwork in no time.
I like the way the house is run right now.
Grant, you haven't changed a bit. It's just like your den in Boston. It was always utter chaos. And you'd never let me near it. You were always so afraid I'd disturb your precious papers.
Well, it may have looked chaotic, but I knew where everything was.
Yes, like the day you lost your adding machine. Remember?
Yes, I remember.
We looked all over for it. And where did we finally find it? Under all those papers.
That was a long time ago, Judith. A lot of changes happened in my life since then.
Like Rena Decker?
Yes, like Rena Decker. She means a great deal to me.
I'm happy for you, Grant. Everyone needs someone who means something to them.
Good. Then you will appreciate that your presence in this house would be very disruptive to that relationship.
You don't have to worry about me, darling.
Judith.
I will do everything in my power to keep out of your way. I'm staying here, Grant. Close to my children.
Well, I don't have time to discuss it right now. We'll discuss it later.
Whatever you wish, darling. But it won't do any good to discuss it later. I've made up my mind.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, Mark.
What's the matter with him?
Hi, Joel.
Lurleen, is that you?
Sure is. Well, I'm glad to see there's a policeman still guarding your door. I see you're making progress.
Mm-hmm. Got me some wheels under me now. Now, it's not a sports car, but it gets real good mileage, you know?
You're something else.
I'd sure like to have these bandages off, though, because I want to see outside. Is there a window in here?
Yeah. Yeah, there is.
I'd sure like to look at it. The last time that I had a blindfold on like this, I was a little kid playing pin the tail on a donkey, you know?
Joel, I'm sure the doctor's going to take those bandages off just as soon as you're better.
I guess patience isn't exactly one of my virtues. Hey, Lurleen, how about looking out there and tell me what it's like out there today?
Oh, all right. It's a beautiful day. The sky's real clear.
Blue, huh?
Oh, yeah, real blue.
Light or dark blue?
Well, it's kind of in between.
Any clouds?
Yeah. Yeah, there's some over there on the horizon.
Those, big, soft, billowy ones?
Yeah. Real white, real pretty. Oh, and there's a gentle breeze blowing. Oh, I can see it rustling the leaves on the trees downstairs.
I want to be out there. Oh, Lurleen, being cooped up like this just isn't my style, you know?
Joel, you're not going to be in here much longer. I just know it.
You know where I'd really like to be?
Where?
Is out backpacking in the woods somewhere. Or those canyons. I'm an outdoorman. I mean, even when I was a little kid, my parents couldn't keep me cooped up in the house. I'd be out no matter what the weather was.
Yeah, I was like that myself.
Were you?
Yeah. I used to spend all my time playing with the animals over at the Marshall Ranch.
The Marshall Ranch. I used to go out there all the time.
You did?
Yeah, I used to visit Ricky out there a bunch.
How come I never saw you?
Well, now, I don't know.
You must have lived over near Marshall Village.
I lived smack in the middle of Marshall Village. My daddy ran the general store there.
Isn't that something? I used to go in there all the time. That's pretty strange, isn't it?
What's that?
Well, how we were always in the same places and we never knew each other.
So you like being outdoors too, huh?
Oh, I love it. I used to go walking all over my granddaddy's place and the Marshall Ranch. They were right next to each other. There were so many beautiful things to look at. The hills and the animals and the meadows. I just loved all of them.
Well, how come you ended up here in the big city?
Well, right before my granddaddy died, he sold the place. So I was staying with Miss Kate for a while.
Oh, Miss Kate. Isn't she terrific?
She's wonderful. Miss Kate wanted me to stay there, but I didn't want to impose on her. I looked for a job in Marshall Village, but I couldn't find anything. And then Ruby said that she'd help me find a job in Houston. You know, Ruby's partly responsible for me buying the coop. Actually, it was Billy Joe, but Ruby still manages the place.
Do you miss being back there on the ranch?
Oh, yeah, I miss it. Houston's been so hectic, what with me helping Ruby with all her problems and all. I just hadn't had much of a chance to get out there.
I wish we were out there right now.
Joel, I got an idea.
What's that?
I'm gonna go ask the doctor if I can take you outdoors. Would you like that?
Oh, Lurleen, I would like that a whole bunch. All right.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
You'll have to forgive your father's rudeness, Mark. He's very upset.
About what?
I think this whole business has finally gotten to him.
It seemed all right this morning.
He's very good at disguising his feelings, Mark. Occasionally he'll show an emotion, but he's going to need us now. We're going to have to be here for him.
You know, Mom, you've been very strong through this whole mess. I admire that.
Thank you, Mark. I've only tried to be supportive of your father. That's all.
I get it. Ruby?
Hi, Mark. I hope you don't mind me dropping by. I stopped by your office at World Oil, and they told me you might be here at home.
Well, come on in. Don't you look good?
Thank you. I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
Oh, not at all. Let me introduce you to my mom. Mom, this is Ruby Wright. Ruby, this is my mother, Judith.
Hello, Mrs. Wheeler. How very nice to meet you.
Miss Wright. You're the young lady that accompanied Mark to that dreadful place, aren't you?
She sure is, and she was just terrific out there, too. She saved my life more than once.
Mark's just being kind, Mrs. Wheeler. Actually, he was the real hero out there. He took real good care of me.
I'm sure he did.
Mrs. Wheeler. I can't hardly believe it.
Believe what?
Well, that you're Mark's mother. You look a lot more like his sister. I swear you do.
Justin, please don't do it.
Darling, there is nothing wrong with doing a little checking up on Hannibal.
Well, now, there may not be anything wrong with it, Justin, but what if he finds out?
Well, what if he does? What is he going to do about it?
I don't know, but I know that it could lead to a lot of trouble.
Darling, I know you don't like this man, but you're letting your emotions get the better of you.
It's not my emotion. I know what a man like Hannibal will do if you cross him.
I'm not worried about Hannibal. I can handle him. And checking up on the background of a business associate is standard business practice.
I still don't like it.
I am not going to let Hannibal step out of his boundaries. I can handle him, and I can take care of my own family.
I know you can. I'm just so worried about you and Gregory. And I don't want Hannibal...
Darling, everything's going to be all right. Besides, something more important that we have to think about.
What's that?
Well, Gregory's adoption.
What's the matter?
Well, it's not moving fast enough.
Oh, well, now these things take time. You have to have a little patience.
Our lawyer keeps running into a lot of blank walls.
The birth certificate?
That's right. Just doesn't seem to be getting any answers from his inquiries.
Maybe there's something that, I can do about that.
What's that?
I could go to Savannah. I know my way around. I know all my Aunt Hildy's friends. What do you think?
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah? You know, if I didn't have any luck in Savannah, I could always go to France if I had to.
Boy, sure speed things up.
Yeah, it really would.
You know how much I'm looking forward to adopting this boy, Ashley.
I know.
Sooner the better.
All right, I'll tell you what. It's settled then. I'll get some things finished up here. And I promise you, Justin, I'll come back with that birth certificate.
I know you will, Donna. When you want something, you go right after it. Just like me. That's why I love you so much. You're a woman of action.
Well, hi, Ricky.
Hey, Billy Joe.
You know, I heard you were back in. When'd you get in, my boy?
Well, just a couple of hours ago.
Oh, well, we're all glad you got back safe and sound.
Yeah, thanks. So am I.
You know, you sure had us all going the way you took off like that.
Yeah, I'm real sorry about not telling anybody, but it was just something I couldn't talk about.
Well, it must have been pretty hairy out there from what I heard, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, well, I gotta tell you, at least I've learned something from all this.
What's that?
Well, it made me realize how much that sister of mine means to me.
Hey, you ought to be real proud of Ruby, Billy Joe.
I am. Where is she, by the way? Do you know where she is?
I don't know. You know, I've been sitting here waiting for her myself.
You know, she's probably back at the apartment. I'm gonna give her a call and see when she's coming down.
Billy Joe.
Yeah.
I talked to Vicki Bellman this morning.
I know. She told me you're coming back on the show.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think it's great. I think it's gonna be good to have you back on the show.
Hey, I'm really glad you feel that way.
How can I feel any other way? You're a real talented guy.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate you saying that.
Well, it's the truth.
Listen, if you talk to Ruby, would you tell her that I need to speak to her?
I'll do that. See you later.
Okay.
Oh, and Ricky.
Yeah.
Welcome home, buddy.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
What's going on, Brad?
You've met my mother, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
What'd you think of her?
She's, pleasant woman.
You really found her pleasant?
Why shouldn't I have?
No.
Brad, what's bothering you?
I just hope that now that we're home safely, she takes the next flight back to Boston.
If she doesn't, at least not right away, is that going to cause you a problem?
I don't want to go into it.
I'm sorry, of course I didn't mean to pry.
No, it's just something I can't discuss right now, but maybe soon.
Sure. Well, if you need a friendly ear, I'm here.
Thanks, Rena.
Something else is bothering you, isn't it?
Yes, but this one I don't think you can help me with because it concerns you.
Me?
And Dad.
What about us?
Rena, I'm just frightened of what my mother can do to your relationship.
Listen to me, Brad. Your father and I can handle this thing just fine. Now, if I were you, I'd be thinking about somebody else.
Are you talking about Ricky?
That's exactly who I'm talking about.
Well, you're right. I owe him a lot. He dropped everything to come out there with me. And he put his life on the line more than once. And I just hope I haven't hurt his career.
Oh, I don't think so. So you and Ricky,
are getting along just fine.
Does that mean it's getting serious?
Could be.
Brett, look at me. Brett Wheeler, you're in love with my brother-in-law, aren't you?
I certainly am.
Oh, honey, I'm so happy for you.
That's very sweet of you to say, Miss Wright, but I hardly think I look like Mark's sister.
Oh, but you do. You look a whole lot younger than I thought you'd look.
Is that so? Well, how old did you think I'd look?
I don't know. Older than you look, I guess. You know, there's something else about you that I admire, too.
What's that?
You're so sleek looking. You know, you're so stylish and elegant. I guess you got a lot of class. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, class.
Thank you. You have a certain indescribable quality yourself, Miss Wright.
Mrs. Wheeler, you don't have to keep calling me Miss Wright. You can just call me Ruby.
Thank you, Ruby.
See? What'd I tell you? I knew you two'd get along famously.
Mrs. Wheeler, I know you're new in town and everything, and if you need anybody to show you around or anything like that, you just call me, okay? Because I know Houston like the back of my hand.
That's very kind of you.
I'd be happy to help you out in any way. Hey, maybe I could even show you around town.
Well, that might be fun.
Good. we'll do it. Well, I guess I better be going. Gotta get back to the coop.
Coop? What on earth is the coop?
Oh, well, that's just this real nice little bar that I work at.
Bar?
Oh, yeah, it's got a lot of atmosphere and everything. You really should come visit sometime.
Thanks for the invitation.
You're welcome. Well, I guess I better go.
Ruby,
Yeah?
haven't you forgotten something?
I don't think so.
Didn't you come here to talk to me?
Oh. Yeah, I did. I got so excited meeting your mother and everything, I just totally forgot. I just wanted to know if I'd see you later.
Sure. See you a little later at the coop, all right?
Okay, good. I look forward to it. Bye, Mrs. Wheeler. Real nice meeting you.
Bye, Ruby.
See you later.
Well, what'd you think?
About what?
Ruby. What do you think about it?
She's different.
That she is.
She has a certain indescribable charm.
Yes, she does. But she's down to earth. That's what I like about her.
I don't like how this is shaping up at all, Adams. We'll have to start covering our tracks.
What do you want to do, Mr. Hannibal?
Get over to Gretchen's apartment as soon as possible.
What for?
Gretchen's dead. I don't want anything found in that apartment that could lead anyone to me.
Yes, sir.
Remove any incriminating evidence. You understand?
I understand, Mr. Hannibal.
Don't let anyone see you enter that apartment.
No, sir.
And Adams?
Yes, sir.
No slip-ups.
Lurleen! You'll never guess what just happened to me.
What, Ruby?
I met somebody.
Who?
Mark's mother. I met his mother, Lurleen.
That's nice, Ruby.
She is one classy lady, too. Someday I want to be just like her. And guess what?
What?
We had a real nice conversation right off the bat. I think she really liked me. I'm even going to show her around town.
That's real nice, Ruby.
Honey, what's the matter with you? You seem real down.
I was just thinking about Joel.
What about him?
Well, he still has those bandages on his eyes, and they won't let him out of the hospital till they do more tests.
That's real tough, honey. But I know Joel's going to pull through. He's going to be okay. I just feel it.
I suppose you're right. I just wish that I could do something to make him feel better now, to cheer him up.
Looks to me like you could use a little cheering up yourself.
Yeah, maybe I could.
You know, I think what you need is something to take your mind off Joel.
Like what?
Well, it might help if you do something constructive, you know, to sort of occupy your time.
Like what, Ruby?
Well, you know, since Gretchen's dead and everything, now might be a really good time for us to go back to her apartment and see if we can find that money she ripped off from me.
No, thank you. You can just count me out. I'm not getting involved in anything like that.
All right, Lurleen, if you don't want to help, you don't have to. I'm not going to pressure you into doing anything you don't want to do. Lurleen, if we just go over to Gretchen's house and...
No, Ruby, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going over there. Every time you say you're only trying to help us, we end up doing something to get ourselves into trouble. I'm going into the office to do some paperwork.
Lurleen, I'm glad you. I've been calling over trying to find Ruby.
Maybe you can talk some sense into her.
Hi, Billy Joe.
Oh, you just don't know how glad I am that you're back here safe and sound.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to be back.
I really missed you.
Oh, I missed you, too.
For a while there, I didn't think I was going to get a chance to apologize to you.
Apologize?
Well, for the way I acted before you took off, I'm sorry about that. coming down on you so hard. I was so wrapped up in my own problems, I didn't even stop to realize what you were going through.
Joe, you don't have to apologize to me. You got a right to blow off steam whenever you want.
I'm glad you feel that way, Ann. I really love you.
Oh, I love you, too. You're the best brother a girl could ever have.
And you're a terrific sister, too. By the way, what was Lurleen talking about?
What do you mean?
Well, she was saying something about me talking sense into you.
Oh, don't worry about Lurleen. You know how she carries on and on about nothing. So how are you Nita doing, huh?
Everything's fine. In fact, couldn't be better.
But Joe, you're not telling me the truth.
Sure I am. Everything's fine.
Try to fool me, honey. I know you too well. Now, what's bothering you?
Nita's gone out of town on one of her business trips. I guess I just miss her, that's all.
Of course you miss her. It's only natural. But you know, you're thinking about it the wrong way.
I am?
Yeah. Instead of thinking about how she's gone and everything, you should start thinking about how great it's going to be when she comes back. What a big celebration you can have when she comes home.
I guess you're right. That is a better way of looking at it.
It sure is. That make you feel a little better?
Yeah, it does.
Now, Billy Joe, I don't mean to rush you out of here, but I got all this work to do, and I know you have to go to the studio, so...
Oh, gee, you're right. I didn't realize it was so late.
Yeah, that's right. We don't want you to be late for the show now.
No, we don't. Bye.
See you later.
Oh, Ruby. Ricky says he's real anxious to talk to you, that you're supposed to get in touch with him.
I'll talk to him. Now, you get going.
I really love you. Bye-bye.
Take it easy.
Okay.
Lurleen! Lurleen, come out here. I want to talk to you.
These artifacts could be of great scientific significance. It's just frustrating we can't show them to anybody.
Well, Brett, you know how dangerous it would be if we publicized any of these things that you found.
I know, you're right.
Until we find out who is behind Gretchen Randolph, this whole thing has to be kept quiet.
Not only that, we want to make sure World Oil gets the first chance at that oil reserve. If we get it, we'll be in real good shape.
Mark, don't even consider getting that oil. It's too dangerous to drill. I mean, you could cause an explosion to match the hydrogen bomb. That gas could kill millions of people. That's why Miles was so desperate to keep it a secret.
Brett, don't worry about that. We won't do anything until we're sure that it's absolutely safe. Who owns that property, son?
I don't know. I have to check.
All right. Do everything you can to get it for World Oil, will you?
Just on my way to check out the records on that property now.
Mark, before you leave, I want to talk to the both of you.
About what?
Your mother has decided to stay in Houston.
Oh?
Yes, she wants to spend more time with the both of you.
That's okay with me.
What's this going to do to you and Rena?
Now, don't you worry about that. I'll handle Rena.
But, Dad...
No buts about it. Rena and I will resolve our own situation. You understand that?
Yeah. It doesn't mean I'm happy about it.
What do you want, Ruby?
I just wanted to let you know that I'm going. I'm going over to Gretchen's apartment.
I'm not going with you.
I won't be gone long.
Ruby,
What?
aren't you going to pressure me into going with you?
Lurleen, I'm not going to pressure you into doing anything that you don't want to do.
Ruby, wait a minute. I should have my head examined, but I'm going with you.
You don't have to, honey.
I must be crazy. I don't know why I do these things.
Maybe because you want to make sure I'm okay.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go. Still working?
Yep.
Boy, you've really done a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
Gregory?
Mm-hmm.
Gregory,
What?
pay attention. I've got to talk to you about something.
Talked about what?
I'm going to have to go out of town for a few days.
You mean you're gonna leave?
Just for a little while.
But I want you to stay here with me and Marshall.
Now, baby, don't get upset. I'll be right back. It's just for a short trip, I promise.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure. I'm going to be back before you know it.
Where are you going?
Savannah. Maybe even France.
To France? What for?
To get your birth certificate.
Well, why do you need my birth certificate?
Because we have to have it so we can adopt you.
Well, can't they just send it to you? Why do you have to go running after it?
Well, see, it's a lot quicker this way. And Justin and I just don't want to wait. See, this will speed things up.
Can I go with you?
No. You have to stay here. Who's going to keep Justin company? Who's going to look after him while I'm gone? Huh? You understand, don't you?
I guess so.
Hey, you know what this means, don't you?
What?
It means that you're going to be our son real soon.
Yeah. You're gonna be my mother real soon.
That's right.
Ashley, I love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Hey there, buddy. You want some company?
Hey, all right. Yeah, I'm getting bored sitting here talking to myself.
Well, you got that guard out front still.
Yeah, he's keeping the bad guys out, and he's keeping me in.
Hey, you don't sound like you're taking to this easy life.
I'd much rather be out there breathing some fresh air, you know?
Yeah, I know. But it won't be long.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, I brought somebody to see you.
Well, now, I'm hoping it's Brett.
Hello, Joel.
Hey, darling. You still pretty as ever?
I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm.
I sure wish I could see it for myself, but they got me wrapped up like a dead gum mummy here.
Joel, we sure do feel sorry about this whole thing.
Hey, don't do that. You didn't make this happen to me.
Well, we can't help feeling responsible. Hadn't been for us, you wouldn't have gone to High Topala.
I got my own self in this mess. And the point is that y'all got out of it in one piece and everything's okay, you know?
Hey, you still chasing the pretty nurses?
I'd try if I could, but I tell you what, I got something better than a batch of pretty nurses, and that's Lurlene. You know, she's been out here every day, Ricky. Y'all, she is doll.
Yeah, she sure is.
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Walker, but we've got to get you downstairs for more tests.
Oh, goody. The human pincushion on another joyride. Y'all gonna stick around?
Yeah, we'll stay right here. We'll wait for you.
All right. Roll on, sweet angel of mercy. I don't speed past this cop and give us a ticket. You reckless, ain't you?
I sure hope he's going to be all right. Hey, Brett, what's wrong?
Oh, I just found out some news today I'm not real happy about.
What's that?
My mother's going to be staying in Houston.
What's wrong with that?
Everything is wrong with that. For one thing, I'm afraid of what she can do to my dad and Rena's relationship.
But don't you think that's something that you ought to let your dad and Rena handle?
I got to do something.
What you got to do is let your dad and Rena deal with their own problems. Why don't you concentrate on us?
I do think about us. All the time, I really do.
Ooh, I like that. That's good news. Now I just wish that's all you thought about.
You know what to do, right, Lily? I know, all right. We've been through this before. Remember, I'm an expert by now. This is only going to take 1 minute. That's too long in my book. Would you just keep your eyes peeled?
at this. Ruby, who is going to keep an eye on the hall?
Just shut the door, Lurleen. Shut the door and come here.
What is it?
Look!
Where'd all that money come from?
It's mine.
How could all that money be yours,
I
Ruby?
told you it's my entire life savings.
But, Ruby, I don't... Ruby, somebody's out there.
No, I hear.
What are we going to do?
I know, but I'm not giving up this money again. Let's hide.
Oh, here we go again.
Well, how you doing, partner?
Oh, Marshall!
Why, you are sure in a good mood this afternoon.
You bet I am.
Anything I should know about?
Oh, you do already.
Oh?
It's about Ashley going to Savannah to get my birth certificate and speed up the adoption.
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Can't wait for you two to become my real parents.
We're looking forward to you becoming our son, Gregory.
I'm gonna miss Ashley.
Well, that makes two of us, but she's only going to be gone a little while.
Yeah, she said only a few days.
That's right. When she gets back, we can concentrate on being a real family. What do you think about that?
That'll be great.
What's the matter, Gregory?
I was just wondering about something.
Wondering about what?
About Mr. Hannibal.
What about him?
Is he gonna be hanging around here all the time?
You don't really think much of him, do you?
I don't like him at all. Gives me the creeps.
I don't want you to worry about Mr. Hannibal at all. The only reason I let him hang around here is so that I can keep an eye on him. We're going to find out all there is to know about Mr. Hannibal. There's nothing he's ever going to do that will hurt us, any of us.
Thanks, Marshall.
Thanks for what?
For being here and taking care of us. I'm really glad you're gonna be my father.
Yes, Mr. Hannibal, please. Ashley Marshall.
Hello, Ashley. How nice to hear from you. Sorry we didn't get much chance to talk this morning. Had a nice meeting with your husband, though. Did he tell you about it?
He told me. Hannibal, look, I have done everything that you have asked me to do. And I'm not sure that you're keeping your end of the bargain.
You're not calling me to give me another lecture, are you, Ashley?
No. I need to see you.
About what?
Something important.
Would you like to discuss it now?
No, not on the phone.
Fine. When do you want to see me, then?
Tonight.
All right. Come over. I'll be waiting for you.
Hi.
Hi. I thought you were going to spend the rest of the day home.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Why are you here?
I gotta talk with you.
Oh, boy, there's a problem, hmm?
Yes, we do have a problem.
What kind of problem?
I had a conversation with Judith the moment I got into the house.
Yes?
She's gonna stay in Houston.
same guy who came to see me with that check for Bo's insurance.
What's he doing here?
I don't know. But he ain't no insurance man, that's for sure.
Are you sure?
I'm sure he's part of Gretchen's gang.
How do you know that?
Because he held us at gunpoint at this cafe outside Hot Topa.
Oh my goodness, Ruby, what are we gonna do now?
I'm gonna tell Mark about it. Come on, he's gonna be real interested to know that guy's back in Houston. Oh.